Yo, what's going on, guys? DJS here, bringing you guys a video. I wanted to discuss with you guys sneaker releases and my thoughts kind of on these. Basically, most recently, there's been a couple different changes. One of them with like Foot Action, I believe, and FootLocker. They're doing like a raffle system for some of their kick releases, and then you have Nike, and I'm going to be covering parts of this along with Nike's end of it, where they have a release date. They don't stay firm to the release date. They push it back, and then something drops, and then you might not know when the release date is, because some of these blog sites out here that we rely on don't update their sites. So it's a little frustrating for myself, only for the fact that you see my Galaxy collection right here. I really wanted to add those the Zoom rookies to my Galaxy collection, and I couldn't do it because my own negligence. Quite honestly, I forgot about the release. I knew that it was pushed back, and I didn't know what weekend it was to, and you know, I'm getting overwhelmed with tweets from Nike Store and whatnot, from because I get the tweets and then I get them on a text message, but somehow, some way, I misplaced it. You know, I've been busy as heck with Block Ops 2 for my other channel, but really the bottom line is this: I forgot, and even if I didn't forget, I kind of feel better because now I didn't have to deal with the stress of waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning or staying up till 5 in the morning to accommodate like my need to try to get these shoes, and just potentially get these shoes by clicking online on a couple buttons, because they were released nowhere locally that I know of. Nike Portland didn't get them. Like, the only place that I knew that was Nike, the House of Hoops in Portland didn't get them. The only place I knew that I would have a chance at buying these was Nike Store, which is everybody's option, right? So for me, it's getting to the point where it's like, obviously supply is low. They push back the dates. It causes customer confusion because we don't know when the shoe is actually going to drop, or we forget when they're going to drop. A prime example is again the Galaxies, but also look at the Lightning 4s. Up until yesterday, I thought the Lightning 4s were still coming out. I didn't know they got pushed back till whenever they got pushed back. And for me, that kind of sucked because I was looking forward to trying to get those shoes. And again, it's just, I have a busy life. It's really, really hard. I really try to stay up on everything, but even as a mass consumer like myself, it's really hard to stay up on all these release dates. But it's getting to the point like this. It's like, and then you have FootLocker now that instead of like waiting in line or whatever to be able to get the shoes, I didn't even actually read all the way into the details, but I got an email saying that they changed their policy for like the polarized pinks, foam posits, and then the bread 4s. It's going to be a raffle system, so you might get the shoe, you might not, which I think is probably the most, I guess, fair way to do it. It is a raffle system. It's better than Twitter RSVP, in my opinion, because Twitter RSVP is a joke. 9 times out of 10, you don't end up getting the shoe with Nike. If you try to RSVP with them, somebody else ends up getting them, and it doesn't matter if you reply back instantly. But it's making us to the point where we have to rely on our technology and our technology skills to be able to try to cop, and not just our technology, our time and availability. We have to be available 24/7. But if I'm somebody that has 4 jobs, like more or less, I work 4 different jobs here and there. 2, 3. I have 3 YouTube channels. I DJ part-time. I have a full-time day job, and I have a wife and a life outside of just sneakers. So it's really, really hard to keep up on all of the information to make sure that I get the sneaker releases on just the specific days that, you know, I can. And it's not even get the shoes, it's potentially get the shoes now. I can understand why it's driving consumers to pay an extra $100 or whatever dollars for the shoe and get them off of sites that have pre-sales of the shoe. And I think that's kind of a darn shame. That's Nike's focus, that they're trying to have this exclusivity so much to the point where people are paying extra just to get the shoes. And I don't know what type of profit margin Nike's working with something like that. I don't know the details on I'm talking about a pre-release of a shoe from these like sites that are selling the shoe months and months and months before the shoe actually drops. Obviously, we've seen the Bread 11s, we've seen the Bread 4s already out there. I don't particularly want to start buying from those sites. It's something that I've been kicking around the idea of, though, because when it comes down to it, if the shoe drops and I'm not going to be able to get the shoe, it's gonna kind of suck for me. Like, there's shoes out there that I really want, but at the same time, it throws this whole perspective check. Like, me missing this Galaxy release, I kind of feel relieved in a way. The fact that I didn't, like, I want a full Galaxy collection, don't get me wrong. Of course, I want my Galaxy foam posits, I want my Galaxy Zoom rookies. Yes, I know the KDs aren't in here. I want those 3 shoes. Half the battle is just now, I guess, the chase and trying to get them. Since I wasn't able to get them at launch, Do I feel like I need to complete the collection? It would be cool. It would be fun. Obviously, oh, the Blake Griffins or whatever. Obviously, those ones drop. I saw on Twitter that like I think King of Kicks posted like some pictures of his. Like he picks them up or something like that. They randomly like released in California at a couple of Nike stores. It's like the way that everything is being released. It's so I don't want to call it unfair, but it's like for the people that really want to get these kicks, unless you're willing to pay an arm and a leg for the kicks, you're not going to be able to get them at retail. They make the retail chain of being able to purchase the shoes extremely difficult nowadays to buy. And I'm not sure what Nike would plan on doing or Jordan Brand would plan on doing in the future to maybe change that. But it's just really, really gotten frustrating for consumers to be able to purchase it. And if I'm the only one that feels this way, let me know in the comment section. If you guys know what I'm talking about and you guys have waited for a shoe for months and months and months, maybe a year to come out, come the release date, and you're just left feeling empty inside because you had the money in hand. You were ready to get the shoes, and you couldn't get them because X, Y, and Z other people were able to get them. You didn't reply back to the Twitter message fast enough. You didn't click the button online fast enough. Like you waited in line and you were just one person shy for getting the shoe. I mean, there's lots of different reasons, but a lot of people have said this in the past about just increasing the supply, and I think that's fair on shoes that are majorly hyped up that are going to be big releases. But at the same time, we do understand that Nike produces hundreds and thousands of different items every single year. The ones that the handful of ones that we focus on that are going to be major releases, the Bread 11s, the Bread 4s, whatever it might be, not everything's going to sell out. I mean, look at the Zoom Rookies. They put a lot of technology and money into designing and making that shoe. The only one that's really sold out is the glow-in-the-dark ones from the original, which are a very limited release, and obviously the Galaxy Zoom Rookies. They put but the money that they invested in creating the shoe, I don't know how many pairs they would have to push to be able to make that money back and actually start making a profit based on that one shoe. A lot of times what happens is companies have what they call a cash cow, makes all the bread and butter of the shoes, and then they take a loss in other areas. Like I'm sure Jordan Brand it takes a major loss on some of these shoes that they come out with that are new, maybe the Mellows, maybe the Jordan 2012s or 2013s, and then they might take a loss on the overall product of that shoe, but they make a profit because of the retros or whatever it is. So the retros in this case would be a cash cow. I know this is a little bit too much probably for most of you kids that don't really care about that stuff, but for it's business, and it's important to kind of understand how everything kind of works. So to say that Nike just needs to create a bunch more, yes, I agree. For some of the shoes they could probably do double, triple the amount, but if it gets to the point where they're not exclusive at all, and anybody can go in at any single point through 2 months later and pick up like the Galaxy LeBrons back there, like do you think that they would have the resale value would probably be nothing because anybody can get them? And is that a problem? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I guess the ultimate point that I'm trying to make here is Nike would be the one that would be potentially at the loss, and by overextending the amount of supply, the shoe will be sitting on shelves, meaning that they're not making their sales from the shoe either. So, like, it's a tough balance between supply and demand. Yes, I think that Nike has a lot more that they can supply though, because the demand has gone through the goddamn roof for the sneakers. So that's my this is a long video. I know this is my long Saturday morning talk with you guys, right? Or Saturday afternoon or evening or whatever, what time it is for you guys. But it was frustrating not getting the Zoom Rookies, but it was my own negligence. I forgot the release. But it was confusing. I went to like Kicks on Fire and like Nice Kicks. None of the sites have like updated, at least from what I saw, they didn't have updated sneaker releases. So I'm looking, I'm like, oh, nothing's coming out today. And then I'm like, well, I'm just going to keep playing Black Ops. And then I went to bed and I totally forgot. But let me know if you guys forgot about any sneaker releases recently and how it affected you. And I don't know, man. It's just one of those things that was frustrating to me. But at the same time, I'm kind of relieved because now I don't have to deal with the stress of not getting the shoe when I tried, you know. I'd rather not get the shoe and not have been able to try than to try to get the shoe and wait for hours and hours and stay up all night to try to get this kick and then come up empty-handed, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. I'm not complaining to the point. I mean, obviously I'm very, very blessed with the amount of money that I've been able to put into these shoes that I do have, and for the amount of shoes that I was actually able to cop. So don't get me wrong and thinking that, I mean, like, poor me, or anything like that. I'm just looking at it from a consumer's perspective, and I'm a mass consumer in my opinion. So that's just a little bit from my side. But anyway, I don't want to leave you guys without looking a little closer at these guys again. I love these dunks, man. These ones are dope. They came out with 3 different colorways, and you can get these online for like $150 or something like that. I'm sure, decent price. Then you got the glow pods over here, and of course these are some of my favorites because of the orange. And I will be getting my Nike ID version of these soon, the ones that I created. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully the video will come up next week when I get the kicks. And of course you got the best, probably one of the best colorways of the Kobe's, in my opinion. Those and the cloaks as well, I love. But anyway, have a good weekend, guys. Don't stress about sneaker releases though. If you miss a sneaker release, it just wasn't meant to be, and just I guess on to the next, or make it a point to try to get them, you know, like on a side hustle, or just whatever you can on eBay or whatever, if you get an opportunity. But it kind of makes the chase of the game kind of fun when you do get them, but it's frustrating when you don't get them. I mean, I'm going to do a video on all the kicks that I wish I could have gotten, that I had the money for, that I couldn't get. Paranormans, foam posits, I mean the Galaxy KDs. The list goes on and on and on. But you know, you never know. Sometimes you can get the kicks. Like Indeed looked out for me, and Homer Simpson, and I did a trade and ended up getting my South Beach 9s, or the Miami Vice 9 Elites. So I mean, things can happen, and just keep your head up and don't let it get you guys down too much. Have a good one, guys. We'll catch you guys later.